Now in this video, we take a look at the super slept on follow route combo and follow concept. This play is super slept on, but I show you how you can use this route combo to attack the defense and put them in kind of precarious situations. Stay tuned. Let's talk the follow concept. Now, before we even get started, the follow concept is a concept that used to be very big in older Madden playbooks. You don't see follow, plays, stock plays that have the follow concept in its playbook. You don't see too many of them. So you kind of gotta create your own, if you will. But this route combo is also pretty finicky because the way that you're supposed to run it in real life football doesn't exactly translate the best to Madden. So I have, adopted and molded the follow concept to my liking, and I'm going to show you both, but I'm just going to show you the main way that I run it. Now, like I said, you don't see too many plays that have the follow concept in it, so I'm going to pretty much create it from hot routes. And also this formation, this is the single back wide trips. I feel like a wide trips formation is the easiest to actually explain the follow concept, even though you can pretty much create it from any formation in the game, whether through the regular formation or through motioning receivers or halfbacks over. So you pretty much can get this route combo from any formation, but this is just the best for the example. So I actually chose 4 verticals as a play because it allows, it doesn't really matter because I'm creating everything from hot routes, but this is just the stock play, just so so there's no actual confusion. Now, the actual real life way that this play is set up and run is it's really a 2-man route combo, but it's best if it's a 3-man route combo. So that's why I'm using this formation. It is an in route from the innermost receiver, an in route from the slot, and a deep in from the third receiver. This is how it would look in real life football. This is how they teach it in real life. The issue with this one, before we even get started to what everything is going to do, is I don't like the timing of it. It's just bad timing in Madden. You can't coach up players in Madden. You just have to go off, what they have. So for me, I don't like the spacing or the timing of this. So I put the innermost receiver in a drag. For me, that works way better. So now that that's out the way, you see how I do it. It is actually, you can run it as a 2-man route combo with just the A receiver and the RB receiver, but it works best as a 3-man route combo with all 3 of these guys involved as shown. Now, what is actually happening with this play, and I'm going to go into replays. This may be a long video because it's kind of, for you to understand what's actually going on, I have to dive into the replay. It's very replay intensive for you to understand it. So the A receiver, let me show on defense. I just have a stock cover 3. Now with the A receiver, his job is pretty much a decoy job. Now you can definitely hit him if you feel like he's open, but his job is 100% just to gather attention. His first job is really to gather attention to the hook curl that is closest to him. I don't have like a pointer or whatever so you can see, but that linebacker that's close to the right hash. His job is to gather his attention, then ultimately his job is to definitely 100% gather the attention of the guy on the left hash. The reason they call it follow is you want one of those players, or preferably both of those players, to follow that A tight end on his drag or his in route, whatever. Another reason why they call it follow is because the slot is following right behind the A receiver. Pretty much think of it as if this linebacker right here, if he bites on that drag and takes that drag, you're going to be throwing that in route where he was in this area right here. If this guy chases after the drag, you're throwing where he was, pretty much where that hash is. That's why they call it follow. And then also, the outside right receiver on the deep end, he's following behind them at a deeper depth. So in real life, they can't see behind him. They don't have eyeballs behind him. In Madden, you can, but he's still replacing him at a deeper depth after he's committed to either. After this guy is committed to either the A drag, or God forbid, well, most likely what's going to happen, he's going to follow the slot on his. I'm struggling right here. He's going to follow the slot on his in route. So let me run this play, and then let me go into the replay so you can see exactly what's happening kind of in real time. Let me throw the ball away and let's get into this replay. Now this is a cover 3 defense, one of the most common defenses you will see in Madden. Pretty much how you would read this play is you can read gonna read the drag to the in route, to the deep end, back to the initial drag. I know it's kind of a long progression, but it covers everything. Like I said, his job right here is to get the attention of ultimately this guy at first, if possible, but definitely this guy. And that's important. Because, like I said, if this guy chases after the initial drag, then you just throw where he was in this window right here. I know this is a computer, controlled defender. Don't worry about the computer controlled defender. Just think about it as how a real person would play it. So if the drag takes the attention of this guy, you would throw behind him with this in route. Now, but this is the real thing right here. If this linebacker plays him all the way through, let's say he initially plays him, but he bails on him. We already know that this guy has the attention of this hook zone. So you just throw in this voided area because this guy isn't following, he's not chasing the in route. If he's not chasing, you can throw right where he should be or where this guy was because he's chasing this drag. But let's say in a hypothetical world, both of these linebackers take their respective guys. This guy takes this guy takes this guy. That leaves this dig wide open to run behind the areas where they were. That's why they call it follow. Everyone's being followed. And if someone is not being followed, you throw the ball to them. That is the follow concept. Now let me show you this from a cover 2 perspective. That was pretty easy, wasn't it, guys? Pretty easy, wasn't it? Kind of, once you understand what's going on with it, it's kind of easy read to throw, So we got cover 2 on the field. I'm going to set up the play the same exact way. Again, like I said, you can do it through hot route. You can do all of this through hot routes, but it's easier if they have, actual plays that have the follow concept already built in. There still are a few here and there splattered in between the playbooks. You just got to find them. Or just create your own. So we got cover 2 on the field, same thing. I'm just going to show you guys the replay and just explain what's going on with the play. Now, every single year, like I saw something throughout the, my peripheral vision that I have to make note of. Every year, there's something different with the plays, something different with routes, something the developers put in. Now, you may get jammed right here. That may be a thing. It may not. Depends on what year, and what route you may have on the field. You just have to figure that out. So you have to, build this in. This doesn't necessarily hurt anything. It doesn't necessarily hurt the actual concept, but you just have to understand that this may happen in like cover 2, some cover 3s. It may happen. Cover 4 doesn't matter. You have to look at it every single year. Every year is a new year. You have to test things differently. Just like I said initially, with the real life way of running follow, I test that every single year. Just like, I just deem every year that it's better to have that inside receiver on a drag. But I'm still going to test every year that to see if putting him on a regular in route is better. It just depends. You have to figure it out. So here we have a cover 2. If vacated, like I said, you're still reading this inside drag first. If the area is vacated, throw the ball. Throw the rock. We're about getting completions, getting balls in players' hands, seeing what they can do with it, getting them yards. Don't turn down yardage ever when you're playing with actual route combos. Now, if you're doing Madden plays, Madden gimmicky plays, you can leave yardage on the field. But if we're doing actual route combos, take the yardage. So we already established if this is open, throw it. Then look to a second read if it's not there. And still, these guys are still going horizontally across the field. Someone has to run with them. If no one runs with them, you take the throw. Again, it's simple. Follow is very simple. It's hard to understand at first, but once you understand it, it's easy to run it, and it plays big mind games with your opponent because do they take their user controller and stick with the initial read that they get on defense, knowing that you got something coming behind it? They never actually know. So this is a very good route combo to slip in to attack the defense a couple of times a game. Shouldn't have any issues running this whatsoever. This is follow.